25th, actually. Wednesday 25th, 05, is it? Yes. Oh my God, we're almost at the end of the year. Wow. All right. Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Lydia Tetolet from Wakanda Land, that is Kenya. And I'm happy to be here today. But the topic we're going to have today is about domestic violence. And we've been doing this for like 2 months now. So we're just creating awareness in regards to domestic violence or domestic abuse, as we call it. Because if we say DV, Facebook don't like it. I don't know why they're trying to condition us not to use that word, but that's something that is happening in the world, and we need to create awareness that there's too much, the pandemic is too much. And the lady we have today, we've actually blared her out because her ex-husband is in prison right now, coming out very soon this year. So we don't want to show her face. So we're going to hear her voice, and we are going to just call her Eliza, that's it. And we're not going to use her full names. We're going to just call her Eliza. And also, you're not going to see her face for security purposes, because our ex is in prison and is coming out very soon. So we have to secure our women as well. So thank you so much, everybody. I'm just going to dive in. I'm not going to ask my guest to introduce herself. I'm just going to enter into the conversation with her. So thank you, guys. All right, Eliza, how are you?
I'm doing good, Lydia. Thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, my darling. I know you're all the way in Kenya right now.
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you so much, Eliza. So, Eliza, just to dive in without even talking too many things, I just want to, first of all, tell us how your child was. Who is Eliza, really? Who are you?
I was born in January 1982, which means I'm now 40 years old.
Wow, you look young, my girlfriend.
Yes, and I grew up in a village called Ndaptabwa. And I am Nandi and went to a school called Father Kun Academy for my primary school and joined Kenya High School for secondary. After which I went to Germany. And from Germany I played the DV lottery, the green card lottery, and
okay, so going back, you're actually running. Let's go slowly. So Elizabeth, this is Eliza now. So how many are you in your family? And what number are you?
All right, we're 6 kids, 4 girls and 2 boys.
Okay.
I'm the third born.
Okay, so how was life when you were growing up?
It was a lot of fun, and I would say also really strict. Like you were not allowed to leave the compound whatever time, and calling names or cussing out was also something that was not allowed. Going to church was the norm every Sunday. Praying every night was the norm also in my home. Yes.
So were you those Sunday best? You know, in my house, we used to have Sunday best.
Every Christmas, yes. We had new clothes for Christmas, for your Christmas. Yeah.
So your life as a child was quite good.
Yes.
And your mom and your dad was there. Did you ever see any abuse in your family, your mom, your dad?
Absolutely not. I am sure there was, because I don't think any couple can be perfect, but it was very well hidden from us kids in case it was there.
Okay, that's nice. Those are good parents, because right now a lot of parents just fight in front of the children. They don't care about the children's feelings. They don't care about how these children will grow up or how they will turn out to be, or if they'll copy them, because nowadays children, they don't do what you say, they actually do what you do. So if they see parents,
that's true.
Exactly. So if they see parents fighting all the time, I mean, that's what they'll take. That's what they'll take out from that family setting. And when they go to their own family setting, yes, some of them will decide, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to live the same life that I lived in the house. But most of them come out, and that is how the cycle of DV never stops. It just continues, because I saw what my mom did or my dad did, and I saw what they did to my mom or my dad, and they stayed. So I'll do it to someone else. And I actually expect that person to stay. So I'm so proud of your parents, you know. If I can just give them a hug and say, well done for bringing 6 children up in a loving environment, because we don't really get that a lot.
That's true. And if I should add something as a real example,
yes,
my ex, the one who unsuccessfully tried to kill me, told me that when he was growing up, his dad always came home drunk and would beat up his mother every night. And he actually seemed really sad saying these things. And I didn't understand why he was trying to do these things to me. I don't know whether I once wondered whether he thought I should endure the pain his mother endured. I'm not sure.
That I think.
But yes, he did tell me that growing up, he saw his dad being abusive to his mother.
And that's the thing with perpetrators. Some of them, and that's why I always say that I'm always advocating for against domestic violence, but I'm also advocating sometimes for perpetrators, because some of them, they'll feel pain. They'll feel like what you rightfully said about your ex, that he was doing this and he was sad when he was explaining what the dad was doing to the mom, but yet he was doing it. And they're thinking, so why are you doing this thing that makes you sad, but you're still doing it? It is because some of them they actually think that that is how a woman should be treated, because they know that it's painful, but this is how a woman should be treated. So what other way do I know? You understand?
Right.
So they should be actually helped. They should get help as well and be told, this is not how normal setting is. What your dad did to your mom, that was wrong. And yes, your mom decided to stay, but that doesn't mean she wasn't feeling pain. She stayed because of you guys. Or she stayed for some other reasons why women stay when they're being abused. There's so many reasons why women stay. So she stayed for one of those reasons. But it is wrong what your dad was doing. She wasn't enjoying it. So some of them always think that this is the way forward. This is how it should be done. But it is wrong. It is totally wrong. So I think with some of the perpetrators, especially now talking about your ex, because this is something that happened to him when he was younger, he's thinking, okay, well, my mom stayed, so why are you making a big deal out of it, right? And when they were doing that to his mom, he was also sad. He was feeling sad, but he now wants to implement the same pain to someone else. That's why perpetrators need help as well. But they need to come to that point of, I need help.
That's true.
But some of them don't see it because they think it's the norm. And that's why I'm so proud of your parents, that what they did, even though, yes, probably they had their arguments and everything, but they did not do it in front of their children.
No, they didn't.
Okay. So now this is Elizabeth here. Elizabeth is a young girl. Went to primary school, finished her primary school, went to secondary school, finished it. And then from there, did you decide from there you're going to Germany, or how did that happen? How did that transition happen?
Yeah, I did. I chose German in high school as the foreign language. And I really liked it. I enjoyed it, but couldn't obviously speak fluent German because hardly anybody speaks German in Kenya.
Okay, so you took that as a subject in Kenya?
Yes, in high school.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah. So that's how I found a way of going to Germany. And at the embassy, they asked me a few simple questions. Of course, the interview was in German, so I did try a little bit and got the visa to Germany.
Yes.
And in Germany is actually where I learned German.
So you landed in Germany. How was life there then when you landed? Was it hard? Was it what you thought it was when you were in Kenya? How was it?
Yeah, everything was totally different from Kenya. people spoke their minds, and I did some babysitting, and the kids just spoke what they thought. They didn't say what they thought their parents or the grown-ups wanted to hear. They just spoke their minds, and that was really new to me, and it was something I actually liked.
Because in Africa we don't do that. That's why we sometimes we look at them and think they don't have respect, because that's not how we were brought up. You know, and we look at them and think, okay, you don't have respect. How can you talk to me like that? You know. Okay, so now you're in Germany. Do you get married in Germany? Do you start a family after work? What happens?
Yeah, I met a man, and yeah, he did want to marry me, but I thought the cultural difference was too much.
Okay.
He was Mzungu. Yeah, and I have a child with him, although we didn't get married.
Okay, because I can imagine the culture difference and the food and everything is totally different, and sometimes it's hard to adapt to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long were you in Germany for?
I was there for 6 years.
6 years, and then now. This is Elizabeth from Kenya to Germany, from Germany to America. Now, again, how was that transition from Germany to America?
Yeah, it was also a new world. Americans were, I'd say, they tried to be nice.
How?
Like in America, strangers just say hi to you on the streets. Hey, how are you doing?
Yes.
How's your day going?
Yes.
That does not happen in Germany. I mean, if you ask someone, how's your day? How are you doing? They'll be like, oh, they'll be taken aback, and they'll probably actually give you a real detailed story of their whole day, because they would think you actually mean it. But in America, they don't mean it. They're just being nice.
Yeah, they just
Germany,
say it.
They say something, they mean it.
Okay, so now you have three culture difference. You have the Kenyan culture, the German culture, the American culture. At least me, I only have two. So was it hard for you to adapt? Like, okay, here you've lived here for almost half of your life, and then here is 6 years. Now you're in America.
Oh, you mean back here in Kenya?
No. In America. Now you're in America. Remember. So now there's Kenya, there's Germany, and there's America. That means that you have three different cultures.
No, so, it wasn't. It wasn't hard.
Oh, it wasn't hard in America, because America is kind of, in Germany, the culture is a little bit similar.
A little bit similar, and also America is they're kinda and nicer.
Aha. They're in Germany they are tough. Okay.
And tough but straightforward.
Okay, so now Elizabeth is in Germany, is in America now. So what took you there?
I played the green card lottery and luckily won.
Wow, so you played it. You played this lottery when you're in Germany?
Yes.
Okay, wow.
And actually, I knew about it while in Kenya. So while in Germany, I thought, well, let me try it. I remember telling my child's father, I'd like to play the green card lottery. He told me, what is that? I told him, it's something that, it's like, if you're lucky, you get to go work and live in America. He told me, there is no way. That's just a scam. I don't think such a thing exists.
Wow.
He told me, you know what? You just try, but I don't think America would be so generous as to just distribute their
green cards
like that to anybody. That means people in developed countries like Germany hardly ever play the green card, because they, leaving their country, they probably go on holiday to America. So I'm sure he had known about the green card. And those days, internet wasn't so widespread, so he actually helped me apply for it. He told me, I'm just doing it for you because this is what you want, but I can tell you, this does not exist. So, yeah. So after some months, I got a letter that, yes, I had won the green card lottery with my child and we could go to America. He was really surprised and supported me through that too.
Okay, so this green card, how is it? Do you just receive a message on your email randomly, or do you search for it? How do you do it? I would love to apply for one, by the way.
Yeah, you go onto the official US.gov site and apply for it. I think it's in May of every year, and the results come out. No, I mean October. I think
October
is when.
Okay, October.
Yeah.
Write that down. Okay, October of each year. Okay.
Yes, and the results come out in May of the following year.
Wow.
The winners. Yeah.
Do you pay money for that?
No, I didn't pay any money.
Oh, it's free.
I just had to have an ID and a picture.
Okay. Wow.
And-
All right.
And you have to have been done with your high school.
Okay, guys, I'm sure you had that. I'm sure you had that. So do the application in October. October is coming. I'll be part of that. So just to remind everybody again, why Eliza is so blurry is because this lady, she's about to tell us her story. We are just going slowly, because her story is very deep and very sensitive and very sad. And we've blurred her face because the ex is in prison and is coming out very soon. So we don't really want to show her face, because I'm sure probably some people who start watching now will be thinking, why are we not seeing her? Is for that purpose. Okay, so now we're moving on. So you are in America with your beautiful or handsome boy, and then what happens?
Yeah, I started going to school in America for nursing. Oh, well, I first met my ex, my now ex. Yeah, we actually started talking just as I was about to leave Germany.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so you met online. You met online.
yes.
Okay, so you met this guy online. He's Kenyan, right?
He's Kenyan, yes.
And he's from the same tribe as you. Is that why you felt comfortable now? Somebody that is from your tribe, you know?
Yes.
And when you were talking, was there any sign, any red flag that this guy, nah?
I'm sure there were, now looking back, but you know, those days I had never been in an abusive relationship. I didn't know the red flags to look out for.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. You didn't know the red flags. So whether the red flags were there, you just thought, this is the norm.
Yeah, I just thought, oh, this is awesome.
So can you remind, or can you remember of anything that now you look back and you're like, that was a red flag?
Oh, yes.
Can you tell us a little bit?
When I started going to school in America, he was against it. He didn't like it.
Okay, so just before you now come and meet him, now you're still talking kwa mtandao, you're still talking online. While you're talking online, was there any red flags? Now looking back, before you now met him?
I don't remember any.
Okay, there was no any. Okay.
Because, you know, I also didn't know about domestic abuse, so I didn't know what to look out for.
Okay, so now you're in America, now you've met him now physically, so the love is hot, you guys. Yes, so what happens?
Yes, I started going to school, doing prerequisites for nursing. Since I was excited and determined to get done as soon as I could, I took many credits. He started telling me, hey, why would you take all those credits in one semester? Where are books going? Where is education going? It will always be here with us. Take your time. And well, I ignored him and just continued with school. Well, that was a huge red flag now looking back. And also, there is a day he told me, I'd like you to quit that job of yours. There is too many Kenyan men working there with you.
Wow. And what did you say? Did you quit?
No. He said I should apply for a job where he worked.
What? So you work in the same place?
Yes.
And
I guess so he could monitor me. And you know, now looking back, I can't even believe what I did. I guess I was still just naive. I actually applied for a job at his workplace.
oh, you're kidding me.
I did, and they called me for an interview. And that's when it hit me. Because once they call you for an interview, it's just, you're as good as done. It's like you have the job,
Yes.
unless you really do a huge blunder at the interview. So while preparing for the interview, I thought to myself, work with him in the same place, I think I'm going to get in trouble. Even with the bosses or with the co-workers. I didn't go for the interview. So I just kept working where I worked.
So did he know that you applied for this job?
Yes,
So did he not ask you what's going on?
he did. And I just told him, I don't think you and I can work in the same environment peacefully.
But what made you think that? Because I know some people who are in love who just want to work together, live together, dine together, everything together. Me and you, like Chanda na Pete.
Hey, because we lived together and it wasn't like Chanda na Pete in the house.
Okay. So you knew already that you guys needed some time apart.
Yes.
And that's the only time you went to work, he went to work.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Go on. Okay. So now the jealousy started rising up. He doesn't want you to work somewhere else. He wants you to work with him. He doesn't want you to go college. He wants you to stop. So
yeah, and this a day he actually took my phone. I don't know why or what caused that, and he threw it on the wall and crashed it.
wow. And that wasn't, did that not scare you and you're like, okay, maybe I need to some time out?
It did, and you know, just like I had seen already many red flags, I just thought, well, he might change.
Okay, so you're just thinking he will change. So was the abuse
Yeah.
constant, or did he stop when you said you can't leave your work and you can't work with him? He smashed your phone. Did he stop or he just continued?
He continued. He did not stop. There is no time he stopped.
Yeah, so tell us more about your experience.
Yeah, I remember I went to court because of this phone saga when he smashed my phone. And one of I think it must have been a social worker. She told me, you know what? We have so many states in America, 50 states.
Yeah.
Or that. Then he told me, this is not the only state you can live in. Why don't you move to another state? You know, I heard her and did nothing about it. Now that I look back, I'm like, I really should apologize to that woman because I should have listened. But
So the abuse was too much now that it's gone to courts, and the social services, the social worker here in the UK, we call them social services. Now they're involved now, but this woman is actually giving you advice that you should go to another state.
yes,
But you're thinking, nah, I'm not leaving. Because at this time, are you married now?
no,
Okay,
yes.
Oh, now you're married. So you're thinking, I have to save my marriage. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, married because I was also trying to, you know, help him get papers. Yes.
So this guy,
Yes.
So this guy, at this time, he doesn't even have papers, but he's still mistreating you and abusing you.
Yes, he didn't have papers.
Wow. Okay. All right. Continue. And then what happened?
Yeah, so we continued living together, and there is actually a time I remember a time he told me he would kill me.
Because I know he threatened you a lot that would kill you, but you never took this serious.
He did. You know, looking back now, I wonder how I could even have stayed another 5 minutes with a person who said he'd kill me. But you know, those days I had never heard of people getting killed by husbands or boyfriends. And also the relationships I had been before were peaceful.
So when he was saying that he'll kill you, was it a time when he was fighting with you at that time, or beating you up, or abusing you with words, and through that he says, I'll kill you, when he's actually serious that I'll kill you, and you just thought it was a joke?
Yeah, because his abuse was only verbal, emotional. He never ever physically abused me. He never touched me. The only time he actually became physical is this one time when he tried to kill me.
But he was warning you all the time that I'm gonna kill you.
Yes.
Okay.
And I thought, well, he's just trying to scare me.
Okay. So I don't know if my producers have something for us to go to break before we come back, and you now tell us what happened that very, very day when he came back and you came back, and him saying he's gonna kill you, he actually wanted to take that up, that he's gonna kill you. And I know you thought it was a joke, but people don't joke like that. If somebody,
you know, now I know that.
Yeah.
But those days I didn't.
Yeah. But I'm just also telling people out there who are listening, people don't joke like that. If somebody says they're going to kill you, that is the
100%.
biggest.
I can assure anyone listening to me right now, if a man says, I'm going to kill you, this is no joke. He will.
So that is the biggest red flag, because he will kill you.
Oh, yes. That is like the last time you should be near that person.
Yeah. Because, and then he can even turn around and say, but I did warn you. I did say I'm going to kill you so many times.
Oh, yeah.
But you didn't listen. So I've actually, and because what they say as well about the power of the tongue has the power. So if you keep on confessing that I'll kill you one day, or I'll commit suicide one day. You know, we had one of our friends, he always said that he will, I'm commando, suicide. He used to call himself Suicide Squad. Every time he would say, he would talk about killing himself or dying through suicide. Not him killing himself, but he kept on saying that so many, all over and over again. And he was even saying it just as a joke. And guess what? That's how he died. He found his wife. Yeah, he found his wife cheating on him. He just set the house on fire. And him, the wife, and the children, they all died. So the power, the tongue, the words are very, very powerful. So we have to be very, very careful on what we say. When people around us are saying things like that, I'll kill you. Every time we're having a fight, I'll kill you. Guy, get out of that place. Because this person will actually kill you.
Yes.
And your story, it just takes God's grace that you're still here. You know, when I was talking to somebody about you, they said, oh my God, so what happened to him? Is she in the wheelchair? Is she bedridden? I said, no, she's totally healed. And it's not a lot of people that get that chance.
Because I don't take it for granted.
And it's not a lot of people that get that chance, to be honest. A lot of people don't get that chance. So guys,
yes.
There is
anytime I read about a woman who has died through domestic abuse or domestic violence, I just count myself lucky. Because I see that it could have gone another way.
Yes. Okay. Wow. I don't know if my producers are ready for... No, I don't think they are. Okay. So we're just going to talk about this anyway. So because my producers are not ready with a video. So we're going back now. So this guy comes home, or you come home. You came home and found him in the house. So what happened before that day?
On that day, you know, the thing about this was my birthday.
Oh.
Yes. It was January 23rd, 2011. I was
Wow.
turning
Yeah.
2011.
Yeah.
That's 11 years ago. So I was turning 29.
Uh-huh.
It was my 29th birthday. And you know, before that, I saw on his Facebook status, he had said, "Who among you, my friends, would like to see me dead on my birthday?"
What? He put it on
Yeah.
his status.
Yes,
He said, who will want to see him dead or you dead?
him.
Oh.
He said, "Who among you, my friends, would like to see me dead on my birthday?" And I thought that was a really strange status, and I thought maybe he's just trying to find some attention seeking or something.
Whoa. Okay. Just to say it out there are some things we don't take for granted. That was a deep message. But anyway,
Yes.
continue.
So what happened on this 29th birthday of mine, I do not remember. But yes, everything that happened, I read in the news and heard it from the doctors. But I had a neighbor who called the police. He is Kenyan.
Okay.
And before I lived with this ex, they were roommates. So he said he heard me cry, he heard me screaming, and I was saying, "He's killing me today."
Okay, so we are coming back now. The producers are ready with a little break. So as we take the break, please do not touch that button. We're coming back with the full story of Elizabeth. Thank you, guys. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Elizabeth, we are back. All right, somebody's watching all the way from Lebanon. All right, thank you so much. Okay, so now we are back. Okay, now you enter the house, Elizabeth.
Yes.
Before you can black out totally, not remembering what happened. Just before that moment of blanking out, what happened? Just before that window, what happens?
The neighbor who called the police says he heard me screaming, and I was saying, "He's killing me today." Hey, he was scared and wondered what's going on. He said a few more minutes, and then there was total quiet.
That's what the neighbor said.
Yes.
Okay.
Then he sensed that something bad might have happened because I stopped screaming. He called the police. He dialed 911 and told them. The police asked, "Hey, what's going on?" And he said, "I don't know. I just heard my neighbor scream that her boyfriend was killing her today, and then suddenly it stopped. I don't know, but I think something bad has happened. That's what he told the police, and they came within no time.
Okay, but take us back before he hit you. You enter the house and you meet him in the house. What was he doing?
I don't remember.
Yeah, because he had a gun. What about the gun? And
I do not remember all that.
oh, you don't even remember the gun.
I don't even remember the gun. I don't remember the hammer. This is what I was told by the doctors.
Oh.
And the police. Yeah.
Okay. So he first wanted to so they found the gun in the house as well.
They found the gun that had a jammed bullet.
Oh. Okay. So the gun had a jammed bullet. So he didn't use it. He just used the hammer.
He used the gun, and when it jammed, that's when he decided to use another weapon.
So when you woke up, or when reading in the newspapers, the hammer was in your scalp, because I know they had to operate you.
Yes. He first shot me, but the bullet jammed. So I was alive. Nothing happened to me. He decided to use another weapon to kill me. He went for a hammer that he had bought to repair something, and I guess he believed that he was gonna just hit my head once and I'd be dead. He hit me, and since I was still conscious, he continued hitting. And he continued hitting, and I wasn't dying. And at some point, the hammer lodged in my skull.
And then
so when the police came, they found a jammed bullet and the hammer in my skull.
And where was he at this time? Was he just sitting there watching, or he ran away?
No. He had run away with my car.
Oh.
Yes. Run away from the police. So they chased him on the highway and caught up with him.
And so where is he now?
Right now?
Yes.
As we speak, he's still in prison.
And he's in prison in America, right?
Yes.
So how many years did they give him?
He got 14 years, after which he'll be deported.
Okay. Wow. So now you're in the hospital, according to the stories again, and what your mom told you as well when you woke up. Now the doctors think you're dead. So they want your mom to, they called your mom to come. Tell us more about that.
Yes, the doctors believed there was really no chance for me to live, and they needed my mom to sign the document to get me off of life support and let me die, because I was in a coma.
And how long were you in a coma for?
I don't remember well, but I believe a month or maybe longer. I'm not sure, but yes.
Okay. So you now come out of the coma.
Yes.
What do you see?
I don't remember, but I just remember once opening my eyes and the nurse told me, "You should be excited. Your mom's coming tomorrow."
Okay.
And I wondered what she meant, because I thought, well, my mom comes every day. I thought I was home.
Oh, yes.
I didn't know what was going on. But what was going on? Well, I guess the nurse was trying to tell me my mom has gotten a visa. She's coming to America. At that moment, I didn't register yet what was going on.
So mom comes and start praying for you?
Yes.
And then since this thing happened, did you ever go back and see the ex? Did you visit him and ask him why? Did you?
Yes. After my mother came, after I got released from hospital, my mother suggested, I think we should visit the guy and tell him that we've forgiven him. And because his family also came to my home, his mother and his siblings, to say, so we are sorry for what our son did.
Mm.
And I think they brought some honey with them, and I think that's a sign in my culture that says, we're sorry.
Mm.
And my family accepted it.
Whoa. Okay. So now you're in America with mommy. So you've come out of the hospital. So you go to prison to see him?
Yes.
Okay. So when you saw him, how did you feel?
Those days I had just come out of hospital. I wasn't as alive as I am right now.
Mm.
I just took things as they came. So I think I hadn't yet really registered what happened to me.
Mm.
So we just went with my mother, and if it was right now, I think I'd have a lot of questions to ask him.
Yes. And how was him when you saw him? Was he remorseful? Was he shocked that you're still alive? How was he?
Yeah, I believe he must have been shocked that I was still alive, and there was a pastor that used to visit me in the hospital and visit him too.
In prison, okay.
Yes, and would keep him updated on how I'm doing.
Okay. But do you now feel that if he was to come out,
yes,
he'll look for you? Or do you still have that fear that if he was to come out, he'll look for you again?
I do. I'll be honest and say I have that fear. But when I think rationally or logically, I'd like to believe he'd be too scared to look for me, but still it scares me because of the trauma. You just you have, if I heard that he was like a few meters away from me right now, I'd be terrified.
Yeah, of course. Human nature, of course. So I know you also, so you stayed in America until you got better, and then now you went to Kenya.
Yes.
So now you're in Kenya permanently.
Yes.
Okay. Now tell us about your book, because I know you also wrote a book in regards to DV. Tell us more about your book. And what inspired you to actually write it?
Yeah, I thought this is a story. I love to write.
Mm-hmm.
I love to tell stories, and I love to give testimonies. I like real life stories are my favorite. I like it more than fiction. And so my story sounded like a fiction, like a fictitious one, and I thought, I need to write it because this is a real life story, and people need to read this. There are women out there in abusive relationships in exactly the same spot I was at that time, that might benefit from my story.
Yes.
And this is why I wrote this story. I wrote it in detail after getting all the details that I don't remember, because with the brain injury, it causes a lot of memory loss. But I got the details from the doctors, from my relatives, and people who are around me.
Yeah.
It's all in the book.
So how bad was your injuries? How bad was it?
It actually really went deep into my skull. It was a traumatic brain injury. They call it TBI.
TBI.
Yes. I still have I still get seizures. from there,
Wow.
and my whole left side is numb
Oh.
because the hammer hit the right part of my brain, and so it affected the left side.
Oh God, so sorry. I'm so sorry. So it's not that you're fully recovered. We give God the glory, but not so much fully recovered.
Yeah, not 100%, but I'd say it could have been worse.
Yes.
So I'm still I'm very grateful to God.
Amen.
Because
Amen.
with each day, I feel like with each day, with each year, with each month, I get better.
And I know,
Physically, emotionally, and mentally too.
and also the time that mom came to pray for you when the doctor was saying something about your recovery, and you said
Yes.
mom said something to them, because mom is a very strong believer.
Yes. Yeah. And they told her there was really not much hope. The best thing would just to be to turn off the life support and let me go. She said, I believe I heard that she said, "Hey, I'm not gonna let go. God is a God of miracles, and He can turn this around. I'm
Yes.
not gonna sign that."
Wow. Imagine having a strong mother like that. But again, some mothers would have, some parents or some people, because that's a very hard. I don't think anybody would like to be put in that situation of turn out this machine, or if you don't turn out the machine, the person will turn out to be vegetable. The person will turn out to be like this. It's a very hard situation to put someone. But for mom
yes.
to stand her grounds, yeah, go on.
It's like it's what they say, being between a rock and a hard place.
Wow.
But I thank God that my mother did not sign that document, because I'd be gone, and I don't know what would have happened to my son, and this story would not have been told. People would have just thought she died, and no one would have had the miracle God is capable of working in their lives.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, Elizabeth, your story is one that I just want you to talk to women out there. Just talk to women out there who are in this situation, and they use every excuse to stay and say, "Oh, I'm here because of this, because of that." And I know that I was one of those women who was sitting back and saying, "I'm staying here because of the children." Those are excuses that we use because we don't want to deal with the real thing. And the real thing is, now I'm alone. So some people are, because they're not financially stable, empowered, they're scared, they fear. But just talk to them. You can actually make it by yourself out there. You can make
100%.
it.
To any woman listening to us right now, it's not going to get better. I can assure you of that. Because one thing that kept me staying was that he might change. It might get better. It could get better. And if you're staying because of your children, that is not the way to go, because your children are watching. Just like my ex watched what happened in his home, it became a cycle.
Yes.
It became his normal. So this is going to be your children's normal. And it hurts them. It traumatizes the children. So there's no way you can stay because of your children. You should run away because of your children.
Run away because of your children.
Yes.
Okay, because last week we were actually talking about domestic violence, and we were also concentrating on Osinachi, the lady who was this gospel singer who passed on. And because the reason why I brought her up is because when I went to church, I found some group of women who are actually blaming her because she did not protect her children. So when we think that we are staying, we are not actually doing justice for the children.
No. We're actually hurting and traumatizing the children. Your child sees you crying, they cry deep inside. And you're their role model. You're the person they look up to.
So you're actually causing more damage to these children than good.
Yes, this is going to be a cycle because they might repeat it in the future. And it also ruins their self-esteem because you are showing your children that their self-worth is really low. Because I believe they gauge their self-worth according to what they see at home and what they hear at home.
Because like, look at what happened to your ex. He actually confessed that he saw that happening to his own home, to his home.
Yeah.
And instead of him cutting that cycle and saying this, that we can't do this, he took it up and took it somewhere else. So what are we doing? What damage? We're doing more damage to these children than good. Women, if you're in domestic, and I know it happens to women and men, but right now we're talking about women. And men, it's not that we're ignoring you, we don't acknowledge that it happens to you, we do acknowledge. But statistically, there's a lot of women who are going through domestic violence. There's a lot of women who are going through struggle. They're alone, So that's why we're talking about women. So if you're a woman out there, just like Elizabeth have rightfully said, and you heard what happened to her, she was actually, even now she's still living in fear because her ex is in prison and her ex is coming out. So she's living in fear. She'll be forever look over her shoulders. Is he here?
Yes.
Is he coming? Even though it happened 11 years ago, she's still traumatized with what happened. She still has nightmares. She still, it doesn't go away. And it doesn't go away.
Getting in a relationship with a healthy man is still kind of scary because I wonder, when is he going to start being mean? Because he may be nice, but I wonder, am I missing something? This doesn't sound normal. This doesn't seem real. I wonder, when is he going to start being mean?
So you're just waiting for it.
Yes.
But that is that. And now, also when we talk to people, I always say that we are not advocating for divorce. We're not advocating for that at all. We're advocating for your peace of mind and your sanity and for your children. And if you're staying behind because of your children, you're actually causing more damage on those children. So get out. Run away with your children, just like Elizabeth had rightfully said. Run away with your children. And don't think that, if I divorce, I'm now an outcast. Last week we were here with a lady from Zambia and she said there's a name they've given them in Zambia when you divorce. There's a name they give you as a woman. But men never get any names. Men are never blamed. Everything is always about women. There's a lady that somebody was saying, I went to do my hair, I was in a salon and women were talking and they were so angry about this particular woman, not calling names, that she apparently took somebody's husband. And they're like, that woman. And I said, why are you blaming the woman? Why are you not blaming the man? So it's always the woman took somebody's husband. That husband is the one who could have looked after the woman's heart. Yeah. I'm just a stranger to you as a friend, but your husband is the one who should care for you. But no, we always blame the woman. It's the woman. It's the woman who did this. It's always the women. When will women get a break? If your husband dies, they say the woman killed the husband. If you can't have children, it's the woman. If you're having only girls, it's the woman. There's so many things. It's just women get blamed every day.
Right. And to add on to what you said about fearing to leave the marriage because you don't want to be a divorcee, and what will people say? we've now seen women who've died through domestic violence.
A lot.
I heard there's something I heard someone once say that they said, if you know how fast dead people forgotten, you wouldn't give a second thought to what anybody says or thinks about you.
That's a nice one. That's a nice one. Because when you die, people cry. They'll talk about you.
Forget about you.
They'll forget about you and move on.
Yeah.
You know.
And you know, like 10 years you've been wondering, what will people say? And yet they forget you within no time.
Within seconds, they've forgotten you. 1 week, the
Oh,
most.
yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. And you'll be a story of the past. That lady, you remember that lady? Story of the
The
past.
one that got killed.
The one that
No,
got
yeah.
killed. Yes. And then it's your children that will suffer. The same children
yes.
that you are staying behind
yes.
for, now you've left them, and they are the ones who are going to suffer. Because
100%.
we all know how most, not all of them, and I always say, I don't ever want to use the word all of them. So putting people in a box, everybody in the same box is not true. But we know that most Mama Wakambo, that's stepmothers, are evil. So if you've left these children with Mama Wakambo, with a stepmother who is going to treat them so bad, bad.
It's painful.
If they were going to school, they're not going to school anymore. They become house helps now. They do all the house chores. They don't feed them properly. They beat them. Is that what you want for your children? Because you're not there anymore. You're gone. And you're gone because you are thinking that you're protecting these same children that you've now left behind without a mother. And your husband will not.
You were killing them.
And your husband will not think twice to get another woman. He will not think twice.
Yeah, he won't.
He won't think twice. And if these children are telling their dad that this is what our mom did, our stepmother did, he won't even listen to them.
No.
He'll believe the women. He'll believe the woman, the witch. I call them witches. Because you cannot treat somebody's children like that. That means you're a witch. And they wait for that witch that is holding a stick flying on top. That's not a witch. A witch is you who is mistreating other people's children. A witch is you, a stepmother who is evil. And why I always tell these stepmothers who are evil is those children will grow up.
They will.
Those children will grow up. And you know, their life will turn around. They're the ones who will help those your children who you are treating better. It will turn like this, you know. It will turn like this. And that's, imagine now your children are begging for work.
Right.
And the person they're begging for work is the person you mistreated. Guys.
And they don't forget.
They don't forget.
Childhood trauma is painful. It follows you your entire life.
So Elizabeth, because of time as well, I just want to say thank you so much. I want to say thank you so much for accepting to come. But just for your final remarks, I just want you to talk to people out there, to the men, to the women, to the children, to the entire world. Just talk to us freely.
Yes, to the men, I ask you to love your women. Treat them well. Do not be intimidated by your wife's or your girlfriend's efforts to go to school or go to work. Count that as a compliment because it's for both of you. And to my fellow women, if you're in an abusive relationship, it's something that you should really not think too long about. It's not something to hope that it's gonna change. It won't. If it's gonna change, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna change for the worse. So if you're in an abusive relationship, run away for your kids. Love your kids and get away from it.
So love your children enough to get away.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what I mean. Love your children enough to leave that environment that
Yes.
hurts them,
Yes.
that traumatizes them.
Yeah, love your children enough. So thank you so much, Elizabeth, and for that. And we also thank God for your life, that you are 100% healed and restored. We thank God for that. And my prayer is, if your ex comes out of prison, I just pray that he's a changed man. I pray that he gets healing and he gets restored, his mind.
I hope so too.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't come out a bitter man, because probably this time round he's just going to kill himself, or he's going to get somebody. When they say that you'll get your match one day.
Right.
Yeah. So I just pray that if he comes out a changed man. And I think the fact that you also went there and told him that you've forgiven him, I think he should think of that and think, wow, so I did all these things to this woman, but yet she forgave me. So I think that was what you just did.
Rehabilitate him in a way.
That was a bold step. That was a bold step, because I don't think there are some people who have been out of relationship for even 20 years. They've never forgiven themselves. I know one of my aunties and my uncle, they were divorced since I was a little child until today. These people don't talk. They hate each other like something else. So for you to go and forgive your ex in this situation, I mean, that was a bold step, and God will totally bless you for that. And because of that, you're covered. You're covered. God has put an edge of protection over your life, so your ex will not even see you. He will not even see you, right? You're covered. You've got the angels that have encamped. Angels have encamped around you, so he won't even be able to see you. So thank you so much, everybody. But I just want to say, if you're going through DV, please seek for help and seek for support. Even children. If you're watching this and you're a child, and in your family your parents are always fighting, and you feel like you're not safe, seek for help. There's a number you can just call. Seek for help. Don't seek back.
I actually think that if a child tells their mother, I don't like seeing you crying, please leave, I think that woman would be touched enough to leave the relationship.
You see? And that is, don't put your children into that situation. That they see their dad coming and they run because they're scared. They're forever scared. Don't let the children need to feel the love of both parents. And sometimes it's easier when you're separated, because co-parenting is, you can still co-parent. You can still do the co-parenting when somebody's there and somebody's there. You don't have to be together if the children are suffering, okay? And we're not advocating for divorce, but I'm advocating for your sanity, your peace of mind, and the children's safety. The children come first, the children's safety. If you want to stay there and be beaten and die in that relationship, get the children out of there. Get the children out of there. Take the children somewhere safe, and you go back and enjoy the beatings. But the children do not deserve to be in that environment whatsoever. Okay? So to the perpetrators out there, please, if you know that I saw my parents doing this, I think it's okay. It's not okay. And you can get help. Seek help. If you don't know how to stop and you want to stop and you don't know how, ask for help. If you're a perpetrator, you can actually get help. There's so many lines out there that can help you. And if you're a woman in this situation, please run. Run, because we do have a lot of women who die in the process of, I want to stay. Or what will people say? Don't worry what will people say. People will talk anyway, whether you're good, you're bad, people will always talk. We've seen women who have died. Now Osinachi was in the public, and I'm using her because she was in the public eye. We have people who die who nobody even knows about, but she was in the public eye. Look at now what are people saying now? Some people are blaming her. That why did she stay? People are not even blaming her husband. Some people are not even blaming her husband. They're blaming her. So imagine you stayed, the children you stayed for, you've left them, and people are again blaming you on top of it. And you are scared, what will people say? People will always talk. So
they will.
Block your ears and move on. Don't be scared. You can do it. You can do it. It's scary the first time, and it's easier said than done, but it's something that it can be done. Nothing is new under the sun. I did it. Elizabeth did it. And Elizabeth one was worse because she could have died, but God gave another chance so that she can talk to you, woman, today that you're watching. And if you're a child as well, seek for help. Phone for help, and somebody will help you. Talk to your auntie, your uncle. Tell somebody that something is not right. Okay? And I want to say thank you so much. I'm going to see you again next week, guys. We're still on this matter of domestic violence because we have to spread awareness. It's so funny how nowadays people are tagging me on Facebook. If there's any domestic something, I find myself tagged. If there's any WhatsApp, where is Lydia? And I'm thinking, hello, guys. I'm not cancel or anything. I just talk about just trying to spread awareness regards to domestic violence. So guys, please love yourself enough. Value yourself enough. Be whole enough not to feel like somebody else is going to make you whole. Be whole enough to know that it's time to walk away. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next week on Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. UK time and 8:30 p.m. Kenyan time. And remember, it can only be God. See ya.